Right now, at this very moment, somewhere on Earth an earthquake is happening. You don't know where. Nobody knows where. Humanity has launched hundreds of satellites, landed on the moon, decoded the genome, but when the planet beneath our feet decides to shake, our entire response plan is, wait for it to stop, then dig people out. The 2023 Turkey earthquake killed more than 50,000 people. The shaking lasted less than 2 minutes. You thought humanity was the master of this planet. We are tenants. We haven't signed a permanent lease, and the landlord can take back the keys at any time. This planet has never once cared about what we built on it, or how many of us there are. But here is the question: if a civilization has evolved to the point of controlling earthquakes, what else can it do? Control weather? Redirect hurricanes? Manufacture rainfall over deserts? Deploy energy networks across the entire solar system? This is not a science fiction premise. This is a roadmap from a serious scientific framework, the Kardashev scale. The Kardashev scale, proposed in 1964 by Soviet astrophysicist Nikolai Kardashev, was designed specifically to measure a civilization's technological maturity. The core logic is a single sentence: however much energy a civilization can control, that is its level. And right now, at this very moment, humanity's score is 0.73. That number is more unsettling than it sounds. Stop and think about one question: why energy? Why not knowledge, population, or patents? Because energy is the foundational currency of everything. Without energy, knowledge is inert. Without energy, technology is a blueprint. Without energy, population is a burden. Energy is the single prerequisite for a civilization to do anything at all. To control weather, you need to intervene in the atmosphere's thermodynamic cycle, a system consuming power thousands of times greater than all of Earth's nuclear plants combined. To stop an earthquake, you need real-time awareness of stress distribution across the entire lithosphere, and the ability to apply precise counterforces hundreds of kilometers underground. The energy demands are beyond anything modern civilization can mobilize. Kardashev quantified this with a clean logarithmic scale. Type 1 civilization controls all energy of an entire planet, approximately 10 to the power of 16 watts. Type 2 civilization controls all energy of an entire star, approximately 10 to the power of 26 watts. Type 3 civilization controls all energy of an entire galaxy, approximately 10 to the power of 36 watts. 3 numbers. 3 chasms. Each level up, the energy span is 10 billion times. Not 10 times, not 100 times, 10 billion times. The gap from Type 1 to Type 2 equals an entire planet's total energy being completely swamped by a single star's output. Type 2 to Type 3 means controlling the combined output of 100 billion stars. This scale is almost beyond the reach of human language to describe. Now return to that score, 0.73. 0 represents a primitive tribe. 1 represents full control of planetary energy. What does 0.73 mean? It means we have climbed 3/4 of the way, but the remaining quarter is a sheer vertical cliff. Before we talk about how to climb it, we need to see clearly where we are standing right now. What terrain is beneath our feet? Humanity's current total annual primary energy consumption is approximately 6 times 10 to the 20th joules, converting to a power output of roughly 1.9 times 10 to the 13th watts, under 2 trillion watts. The Type 1 threshold is 10 to the 16th watts. We are short by nearly a factor of 1,000. This number is a precise coordinate marking our location in the cosmic framework. Right now, the Sun delivers 1.74 times 10 to the 17th watts onto Earth every second. All of humanity's energy consumption combined is 0.01% of what the Sun gives us. Every fire we light, every motor we spin, every data center we run, added together, we are using a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what arrives for free every second. A mid-level hurricane on Earth has a peak power output of approximately 10 to the 15th watts, the same order of magnitude as all of humanity's global energy consumption, sometimes exceeding it. Right now, if a typhoon is forming outside your window, the energy it is mobilizing is directly comparable to the energy the entire human civilization is mobilizing. And our response plan is, send a warning text. Then run. The essence of a 0.73 civilization: we can perceive nature, we cannot resist nature, we can occasionally sidestep nature just barely. We built all these satellites, supercomputers, and weather stations. The conclusion is always the same: get out of the way, because there is nothing we can actually do. Our most sophisticated answer to a Category 5 hurricane is still, leave. Type 1 civilization means full control of planetary energy, 10 to the 16th watts. Controlling weather is one of the most basic capabilities it unlocks. The Earth's atmospheric thermodynamic system receives approximately 1.74 times 10 to the 17th watts of solar energy per second. About 1 to 2% of that converts into atmospheric motion, wind, storms, ocean currents. That portion is approximately 10 to the 15th watts. A Type 1 civilization with 10 to the 16th watts of available power could theoretically intervene effectively in that system, injecting heat into the Atlantic to sever a hurricane's energy supply, manufacturing artificial precipitation cycles over drought regions, actively cooling an atmospheric column above an extreme heat zone. Not magic, forced rewriting of thermodynamic boundary conditions. Controlling earthquakes is far harder than controlling weather, but the logic is the same: not stopping earthquakes, managing stress release. The elastic potential energy accumulating along tectonic plate boundaries each year is approximately 10 to the 21st joules. Released all at once, that is a civilization-ending earthquake. The key is preventing the all at once. If that energy can be released in controlled increments, each release equivalent to approximately magnitude 5, then the magnitude 6, 7, and 8 catastrophic moments never arrive. The technical pathways: deep well fluid pressurization, directed microwave heating of the crust, superconducting electromagnetic stress intervention. These are not pure fantasy. They are natural extensions of existing physical principles at a higher energy scale. The critical number, going from 0.73 to 1.0, requires humanity to increase total global energy control by a factor of approximately 1,000. At current energy consumption growth rates, historical average 1 to 3% annually, the optimistic estimate is 200 to 500 years. The pessimistic estimate? If climate change causes civilizational setbacks, or the energy transition fails, this timeline can extend indefinitely. Most science articles stop here. Humanity is 0.73 now. We will reach 1.0 in a few centuries, then we can control weather. That narrative is missing the single most critical thing: the thermodynamic problem created by the energy leap itself. If humanity's energy consumption increases by a factor of 1,000, all that energy eventually dissipates into Earth's environment as heat. Every joule, without exception. Currently, waste heat from human energy consumption is approximately 0.03% of the solar radiation Earth receives. It sounds negligible, but it is already detectable in urban heat island effects. If energy consumption increases by 1,000 times, waste heat reaches 30% of solar radiation input. That is not a problem you solve with air conditioning. That is a planetary scale fever with no known treatment. What would that trigger? Runaway global warming far beyond any greenhouse gas model's extreme projections. Complete reorganization of the atmosphere's thermodynamic structure. Accelerating ocean evaporation, stratospheric water vapor surging. This is not climate change. This is planetary-level thermodynamic collapse. Humanity would destroy the weather before it gained the power to control it. This is the invisible wall between 0.73 and 1.0. Humanity would use the energy to destroy the weather before it gained enough energy to control it. The only solution: as total energy increases, the energy source must shift from inside the Earth to outside the Earth, directly harvesting live solar flow, burning absolutely nothing on the surface. There is no other exit from this trap. This leads us to a critical intermediate concept, the special node between 0.7 and 1.0, the space energy civilization. Not a civilization on Earth using more energy, but a civilization whose energy infrastructure begins extending beyond Earth's atmosphere. Orbital solar power stations, lunar helium-3 extraction, asteroid belt resource logistics. This is the real price of the Type 1 ticket. Humanity is currently around 0.73. When astronomer Carl Sagan made this estimate, he offhandedly said something that has been quoted endlessly ever since. We have not yet reached Type 1 civilization, we are still Type 0. Type 0. Not approaching Type 1, Type 0. Because we are still burning the compressed remains of dead plants and animals, coal, oil, natural gas. This is the most primitive form of energy extraction, digging up solar energy stored hundreds of millions of years ago and burning it in a single use. A Type 1 civilization burns nothing. It directly intercepts the live solar energy flow. This transition is not just technological, it is civilizational. Like the shift from hunter-gathering to agriculture, it is a fundamental rewiring of how a species exists. Right now, humanity's energy decisions are fragmented, over 200 countries, thousands of energy companies, billions of individual consumers, each making independent decisions, with no coordination mechanism capable of making energy strategy decisions as a unified whole. A true Type 1 civilization must be a globally coordinated civilization, at least at the energy level. Not necessarily a world government, but at minimum a global energy network capable of unified dispatch and global distribution, Sahara solar, North African wind, equatorial ocean thermal gradients. The barrier to reaching Type 1 is half physics, half political science. And political science timescales have never been more predictable than physics timescales, historically, often far less so. Kardashev designed this framework in 1964, the most intense years of the Cold War, when humanity first seriously considered the possibility of using nuclear weapons to erase its own civilization. His partial motivation was to answer one question: if other civilizations exist in the universe, how would we know they are more advanced than us? The answer: look at their energy. A Type 2 civilization, one that controls the energy of an entire star, would leave indelible marks in stellar spectra. A Dyson sphere, or any comparable stellar energy harvesting structure, would alter a star's infrared radiation signature into a completely unnatural pattern. That signal would be detectable from hundreds of light-years away. We have the tools to look for it right now. Astronomers are currently scanning nearby stars using exactly this method. To date, no confirmed signal has been found. This has two interpretations. The first: no other civilization has reached Type 2. We are one of the few low-level civilizations in the universe still struggling to climb toward Type 1. That interpretation is lonely, but it is a loneliness we can live with. The second interpretation: Type 2 civilizations exist, but they no longer radiate any detectable energy outward, because their energy utilization efficiency approaches 100%. No waste, no leakage, no signal we can use to locate them. The second interpretation unsettles me more than the first. Because it means, truly mature civilizations are silent. Perfectly, completely silent. Right now, at this very moment, humanity is at 0.73. That number contains the political battles between two nuclear power plants, the national calculations at every climate summit delegation, every rooftop claimed by a solar panel, and every coal mine still burning. The score 0.73 is the precise sum total of every choice humanity is making right now. Getting from 0.73 to 1.0 is not an engineering problem. It is a question of whether this species can learn planetary-scale cooperation before it acquires planetary-scale power. Every time in history that humanity gained access to a new large-scale energy source, fire, steam, nuclear, it came paired with an equal-scale destructive capability. Always. Without exception. We got the steam engine and industrial warfare. We got nuclear energy and nuclear weapons. Type 1 energy is sufficient to redirect a hurricane. It is also sufficient to manufacture a hurricane and aim it at any city on Earth. Same physics, same technology, two completely opposite directions of application. The only variable is the choice. And the choice belongs to us, not to the physics. The Kardashev scale measures the ceiling of energy control. It does not measure wisdom. It does not measure morality. It does not measure whether a civilization deserves the power it holds. That question cannot be answered by any equation in physics. Energy does not determine fate, but energy amplifies everything, including the best of what humanity is. And the worst. We are 0.73 right now. The window is still open. But the window will not stay open forever. Every planet that has ever hosted a civilization passed through some critical threshold, a point at which that civilization either made the leap or disappeared. We do not know where that threshold is. We do not even know if we have already passed it.